What's up? So I'm making another video for another reading for whatever the viewer needs to hear. So this is a general reading, so not everything will resonate. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If anything, like medical or psychiatric comes up, know that I'm not a medical or psychiatric professional, so always speak to a licensed professional for anything medical or anything like that. So what does the viewer need to hear? God, all angels of light, all beings of the divine, please drive away any bad, evil, or negative entity with bad intentions, and only bring in loving beings of the divine light and love with good intentions. And please give us the messages we need to hear that support the viewer's highest good. Thank you. Okay, so what does the viewer need to hear? So you're going to have a fantastic time in the near future. You're going to be downloaded with some information about something related to the light. I don't know if you saw yesterday's reading, but what came up during the reading was the light. And if you're watching this again, yeah, this card's telling me that what it's talking about is the light. See, it's pointing in the direction of the light. So having a wonderful time about something that you're going to begin to understand relating to the light of goodness, the light of truth, the light of love, the light of justice, the light of goodwill. So let's take it a little deeper. What else do they need to know? So what they're telling me is that don't fear what comes up along your path. You have a lot more strength than you think you do. So what it's telling me about this, like, fear you have about your path, there could be, like, ruminating thoughts or wandering thoughts about something that you're there's something that you're meant to do, but you're fearing it. I just, like, saw a sword, and I take swords as a symbol of, like, purpose or what your calling is in life. And what this card is telling me is that you've been a little, like, closed off lately. You're not, like, quite paying attention to the light in your life right now. So that could also be the light of purpose, if you want to see it as that. From what I'm understanding, intuitively, I feel that there's glory coming in your future. Like, glory. Like, something really good. Let's explore this. So there is some kind of transformation that's going to be happening. And you're meant to transform people. This is divinely ordained. See? It's called patience and planning, but the way I see it with that light coming down and the seven, seven is a number of the divine. So this card is telling me that this, whatever this is, this like purpose about transforming people and going through your own transformation, it is divinely ordained. You're going to have many opportunities for love, for friendship, for whatever else you may be pursuing in life. They're going to come as blessings for choosing this path. I call that your highest excitement that's guided by love. So, when there's something that you're really like excited about or really passionate about, that intrigues you, that you're good at, that just makes you feel really good, and it's guided by a genuinely good or kind or loving thing, that's what you're really supposed to be doing with your life. And that alone will open the doors for many blessings to come into your life. I know that because, like, so for a long time, I haven't been. I'll just share a little story about myself, but I haven't been really going hard on my purpose in life. I go through phases where I get really into it, and then I start to fall back. But there were two times throughout my life where I really went like pretty deep into it, and I noticed these blessings coming in. One time, I was super passionate, and it was like a spring and summer many years ago where I was like super passionate, and even though I wasn't actively taking action, I was feeling it. I was wanting to do it. I was I was doing little things like posting YouTube videos and stuff like that from many years ago, and I noticed like I was having so many opportunities for friendships, for love. I didn't really take the opportunities, but they presented themselves to me. And you see, I think there's a relationship between feeling really good, thinking really exciting thoughts, but then not actually pursuing it like in your actions, and then having these opportunities arise where like people want to talk to you. And if there's like whatever you're into, like girls or guys, but if there's people that are always like smiling at you and giving you those signals like they want to be with you, but then it's like it doesn't actually happen. I think there's a relationship between that. Because like you feel that excitement, you feel those exciting and really good feelings, and you're thinking the right thoughts, but it's just when it comes to the action, if you're not actually doing it, that whatever's going on within you is manifesting in other ways. So so yeah, for me it was not being able to fully experience my blessings. But there was another time in my life where I was well, kind of the same thing, not fully experiencing my blessings, but I did make a lot of friends, and I was super passionate. I was kind of getting lost in the suffering too, so there was some of that, but my heart was like, my passionate heart was like really, like, wide. And that alone brought many blessings into my life, even for like work. Like I had a really good volunteer job at a crystal shop that I was at for like 2 years. But yeah, it was a really good experience. Let's go deeper into this. So what else do they need to know about this transformation or this light? So what they're telling me is that you should communicate with others more. Whatever it is that's really like causing that really good excitement in you, or enthusiasm, communicate it more with others. Know that there will be blessings that will come into your life that you can't even imagine. I've actually got this message about myself too, about like pursuing my purpose. Cause like I said, I go through phases where I like feel it a lot, but then don't actually do it. It's coming. The feelings only just started coming back like just recently, but I'm trying to, do it now. So just by doing these YouTube videos and stuff. But anyway, yeah, know that there will be opportunities for like a real love that you couldn't imagine. Like maybe you're somebody that's always struggled with like love, like romance, but from what this card is telling me is that if you pursue this path and if you communicate with others and really like try to like build a community or like a social group maybe around whatever this is that's exciting you or this light is, you're gonna find a love that is just like, I don't want to say the perfect love because nothing in life is ever absolutely perfect, but it would at least, what this card is telling me is that this will be the most ideal love you've ever encountered in your life. See the hand like that? When I see that, that makes me think or feel that there's some kind of like genuine concern for the other person rather than something more superficial. Like I feel like sometimes people get into relationships because it's just kind of what you're supposed to do in life, and there's not always this genuine concern for the other person that's like very honest and kind. I don't know. But this card is telling me that you need to leave certain doubts about your future behind. Suffering in silence. The way this woman in the card is like looking at the sun at a distance, it tells me that there is some doubt or some level of almost like a disconnect from that light. Like it feels like uncertainty. So yeah, just leave that behind. And let's see, how can you leave this behind? Be grateful for everything you have in your life. And I'm not quite sure what this rainbow is trying to tell me, but there's something significant about that. So maybe it'll resonate for you. If you if you just look at this card, and maybe more specifically the rainbow, see what intuitive hits you get from that. Because I'm getting something. It could be related to art or like a creative passion. You may have like really good blessings in your life that you're overlooking. Um, what this card is telling me is that in time things will make sense. So in time, maybe you don't want to like force yourself to just get all the, not the answers, but like all the feelings and the like certainty right away because you can't force it. So maybe just telling yourself that, in time I will begin to really integrate this gratitude, this light, this sense of purpose, or this desire or need to communicate with others about this, whatever this is for you. Okay, so we'll end it with one more card. Any final messages on what the viewer needs to hear? You're going to be purging a lot at some point in, I want to say the near future, but it could be a little more than the near future. Maybe, like, what I'm saying the near future for me is within 1 to 3 months, but what this card is saying, maybe it could be a little bit longer than that, but there will be an ascension happening where you will you will rise to become almost like, I want to say almost unified with God or within the kingdom of heaven. I'm not saying you'll die, it's not that, but I'm saying that like heaven on earth. That's what I'm saying. Because heaven isn't truly a place. I mean, I think there is like a real like astral heaven, but more than that is the way you would get to the astral heavens in the afterlife is through genuinely being in an honest heavenly state. And that's good intentions with the right healing. It's going to take some work to get there, but you will get there. Explore your shadow. That's what I'm seeing when I close my eyes. Is um, I think that came through yesterday's reading, to explore your shadow. And if you don't know what your shadow is, it's basically what the symbol represents. It's the part of ourselves that we kind of don't like quite see, or we're not fully aware of, that run parts of our lives that where there could be suffering. It's like unconscious or hidden aspects of ourself, our personality, or our behaviors, or unconscious thoughts or impulses. So yeah, explore that. You can work with a shadow healer, or you could talk to a therapist. You could talk to a spiritual coach. You can even just talk to a friend or a family member about, just your struggles. Like, it just helps to just talk to someone about it. Like, even though I'm really into the spiritual stuff, sometimes I do really get a lot out of going to traditional therapy. Like, just simply having the conversation about what you're struggling with. Just the communication, the dialogue will sometimes get you to like realize something in your mind where you're like, oh, I didn't know that, or now I see that more clearly. And it's kind of like this like aha moment where, well, I think I summed it up. It's that moment where you acknowledge that there's something that you weren't aware of, or that's made more clearly to you. And it's about your suffering or your unconscious behaviors or impulses, unconscious thoughts. So yeah. All right. So I do personal readings. You can DM me on Instagram. My my I'm gonna put my Instagram account link in the description for this video. You can also DM me for healing spells or for aura readings. I do that too. For healing spells, I do various healing spells. I do spells for like literally like just like empowerment or more happiness, aura cleanses and things like that. But I also do tangible things like if you wanted to manifest a new lover or a like a friendship community kind of thing, or something related to jobs or businesses. But what I will say is that, well, a few things, is that I don't do love spells on specific people, and I don't do anything related to cursing or hexing or anything like that, so nothing dark or anything like that. But, what I will say for the spells, for all the spells in general, is that it's not always as simple as just getting a spell done and then it just works right away. I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, like I think in rare occasions things like that do happen where you can just ask for a spell done and in like just a few days you just feel it like immediately. That has happened in the past with me doing spells for other people, but I want to say that it's not guaranteed because usually these things do take time. I've noticed for myself is that these spells could even take like up to a year to really manifest, or longer sometimes. But there's usually things that you need to do in order to really make it work. Like you can only get a spell done if you genuinely desire something. So if you genuinely desire it, that means you will put in the work for it because you desire it genuinely. So, for example, like if you want a spell related to healing an addiction, you have to actually like look into healing modalities and talk to a therapist or look into holistic health or look to keep yourself occupied as often as possible. Look to maybe find new friends if your old friends are only supporting your addiction. Like things like that. There's something else I wanted to say. What was it? Yeah, it helps when so like I work with the light. I work with the light of God. I work with the angels of light. So if you want to see my spells for you manifest, that means that you also have to work with the light and you have to genuinely try to feel good in life. And that means being grateful for what everything that you have, and if you can try to like pursue your calling in life, because what your calling is will make you a lot more passionate and happier. It'll bring out your deepest wishes and aspirations and enliven you. And the reason, well, the reason why you do these things like gratitude or pursuing your calling in life, it is because it's right, but it's also because they are things that do make you feel good. And with spells that are of the light, if you want to see them manifest, that means that you have to try to feel good. Because usually when you're getting lost in like anger or depression or fear, it's because you're ruminating on negative things. So you're feeding the opposite of those spells. You get me? And it's not to say that you should suppress whatever feelings you're just naturally feelings. Whatever you're just naturally feeling. It means that when you do feel those negative feelings, you're able to acknowledge it, accept it, not feed it, but just let it pass through you. Because that actually is a positive thing to do. And that represents light. Like, it's not always exactly what you feel, but how you react to what you feel. Because if you feel anger and then you just start feeding negative, angry thoughts, then you're feeding the suffering and you're feeding something that's like not a good thing. So if you feel anger and you just stop and think and just accept it and don't feed into it, maybe keep yourself occupied with something else. Allow yourself to just let it out in a safe way that's not harming anyone or yourself, and heal it in that way. Alright, so yeah, that was it. I think I really went off with that healing spell thing, but alright. So DM me if you're interested, and take care. Peace.